There's perhaps no monument type more mysterious or enigmatic than a pyramid. Of course, these incredible structures are most closely associated with ancient Egypt, as well as the ancient Maya and Inca civilizations that once commanded South and Central America. They stand often as tombs and always as iconic and stirring landmarks, as places that leave explorers aching to get inside and have a look around, even though that's not always possible. But alongside all the most recognizable pyramid structures, there are also others that are less well known, and perhaps more still that are totally hidden away. This is Unveiled, and today we're answering the extraordinary question, are there really secret pyramids hidden on Earth? Do you need the big questions answered? Are you constantly curious? Then why not subscribe to Unveiled for more clips like this one, and ring the bell for more thought-provoking content. You might think it would be difficult to keep a pyramid under wraps. They don't exactly blur into the background, and yet there are examples of some that have been missed or kept quiet. The Great Pyramid of Cholula in Puebla, Mexico, is the largest pyramid by volume in the world, much larger than even the Great Pyramid of Giza, and with a base that's more than 1,000 feet wide. In fact, its dimensions are so incredibly vast that not only is it considered the planet's largest pyramid, but also the largest man-made monument ever built, period. Why then isn't it at least as famous as Giza and the rest? One reason is that for hundreds of years, nobody knew it was there. Spanish conquistadors arrived in Puebla in the 16th century, laying waste to much of the native culture and replacing it with their own over time. A Spanish church, still standing today, was even built on top of the Cholula Pyramid itself. But the settlers didn't know the true nature of the land they walked upon because the pyramid, built as it was out of mud bricks, had long since grown over with grasses, vegetation, and tropical plants. To the unaware, it might have seemed like just an everyday natural hill, and building on top of it might have felt like a statement of intent. Now we know differently though, and there are miles of tunnels beneath that hill, where the hidden pyramid complex has more recently been excavated and mapped out. For centuries, the covered corridors and rooms had all but been forgotten. So it really is possible for something even as striking as a pyramid to be lost. Next, we head to Australia and to a site about which the true history is still up for debate. The Gympie Pyramid, also known as Dujaki Kundu, can be found just outside the Queensland town of Gympie. In recent years, it's been subject to various building disputes, as local authorities look to lay roads across it, while traditional groups claim that the area should go untouched as it's a spiritual and sacred place. Aside from that conflict, though, there have also been numerous other theories put forward for Gympie, including that it was built by ancient Egyptians who it's claimed may have traveled to and settled in Australia, that it was built by ancient Chinese settlers, and that it was built by a long-lost group of traveling Mayans. Advocates for the theories claim that there's further evidence too, including apparent local examples of discovered Egyptian hieroglyphs and general similarities between the physical style of Gympie and other pyramids from around the world. On the other hand, the more mainstream and more accepted history for the site is that it was actually once a tiered vineyard used for winemaking by early settlers just a few hundred years ago, rather than a few thousand. There are some far-out claims that aliens might have been involved too somewhere along the line, although again, the vineyard version of events is the more widely supported. While China stands as one of the purported pyramid builders of a lost structure in Australia, however, the country also has its own secret pyramid legacies. In the 21st century, international interest has risen regarding a vast number of ancient pyramids in the Shanxi province, and particularly around the city of Xi'an. While Xi'an is perhaps most famous for the nearby site of the Terracotta Army, the history surrounding these pyramids is much less well known. It wasn't until the early 1900s when they gained any kind of wider attention outside of China. But as interest has grown, the local security has grown as well. The Xi'an Pyramids are often reported as closely guarded, and while the main drive behind this is said to be to best preserve them, the secrecy has opened up the void for alternate theories. It's generally accepted that the pyramids, of which there are more than 40 at least, are tombs, built for the highest-ranking figures in ancient China: emperors, officials, soldiers, and rulers. Their style is much closer to Mesoamerica rather than Egypt, with wide bases and shallower inclines, so that they might at first appear closer to rolling hills than purpose-built monuments, in some ways similar to the Cholula Pyramid. They don't rise to a point as many Egyptian structures do either, instead flattening off at the top. The precise positioning of the Xi'an examples has been subject to debate too, with the pyramid locations appearing to be astronomically inspired. This apparent mirroring between what's on the ground and the positioning of the stars in the sky isn't unusual when it comes to pyramid study, with various other complexes found to do the same, and with star maps therefore used as a tool to help date them. With the Xi'an Pyramids, it's thought that they could be as much as 8,000 years old or more. But finally, we travel south to probably the most mysterious continent of all on Earth, Antarctica. Such is the prevalence of alternate theories and rumored hidden secrets all over this frozen land, it's perhaps little surprise that a pyramid legend should have also embedded itself into the ice. To begin, there really is a landmark in Antarctica, in the Ellsworth Mountains, known as the Pyramid. And it's not a new discovery, with first recorded mention of it dating back to an early 20th century expedition. When viewed from above, it has all the form of an artificial design: steep sides, more or less equal dimensions, and a square base. At ground level, it rises out of the surrounding ice to point to the stars above. While much of this video has been concerned with pyramids historically mistaken for hills and mountains, however, the opposite is happening here, according to most mainstream explanations, because it's generally held that in reality, the Antarctic Pyramid really is a mountain, a natural rock formation known as a nunatak, referring to when the highest points in glacial mountains break out from the ice below. The striking similarity to a pyramid is clear, but the pointed top isn't by design. It has just been chiseled that way over millennia by the elements. Nevertheless, theories have emerged in more recent years, including, again, the suggestion that ancient alien settlers might have built the Antarctic Pyramid, perhaps in a pre-human time. The alien theories linked to any and all pyramids are so far unfounded. There are some generally shared themes behind them, such as, broadly, the suggestion that pyramids on Earth might have at one time formed something of a planet-wide communications network, with the structures themselves standing like beacons and all the energy passing through them. In this way, some claim that Earth is transmitting out via the pyramids, and that's why there's still such mystery surrounding them. But really, those mysteries are lifting, and there are generally stronger, more accepted explanations for most pyramid sites now, whether it be that they were tombs, tributes, or shows of civilization power. And while modern-day attempts to draw attention away from pyramids, as seen to a certain extent in Xi'an, might have some questioning the secrecy around them, it's not as though such caution isn't without precedent. The pyramids of Egypt are certainly better known all over the globe, but they've also been continually targeted by tomb raiders in the past, and are, to some degree, at the mercy of endless tourism today. Perhaps the authorities for other pyramid sites just don't want the same thing happening again. Nevertheless, with various reasons for it, that's why there really are some examples of secret pyramids on Earth. In Mexico, there's a massive ancient building grown over and until recently forgotten about. In Australia, there's a structure that, according to some, might have been put there by early settlers thousands of years further back than conventional history says. In China, there are multiple lesser-known landmarks around an iconic ancient city. And in Antarctica, there's an intriguing geometric formation jutting out from the pristine ice surround. That one, though, isn't actually a pyramid at all. Nature has just made it that way. What do you think? Is there anything we missed? Let us know in the comments. Check out these other clips from Unveiled, and make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for our latest content.